Hi guys, welcome to Football Takes. I'm your host Daiki, and here again with me to go over some of the encapsulating previews of last week's encounter in the Premier League Gameweek 10 is Simplicio, aka Steven, aka Liverpool fan, and what have you. Please make an introduction, young man.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me again. So it's always promises to be an exciting one. Always when Liverpool has had a very splendid week. I'm looking forward to the podcast. That's the least I can. That's what I can say though.
Of course, you're looking forward to the podcast. Why wouldn't you be? Well, as we start up with a preview or a recap of what happened last week in game week 10, starting off with the big match of the week, which actually wasn't really exciting. Also, I'll start up with Manchester United versus Chelsea. What do you make of that game? What do you think? Did they live up to expectation? Did they live up to the hype, or was it a bit overwhelming, underwhelming? What do you think?
Yeah, I think obviously those kind of fixtures they rarely on the compensating for what they are going to be because they are always very fierce with history behind them and all that good stuff, right? Personally, I think it was a let off on the on Chelsea's part. That's right, rather on Manchester United's part. I said immediately after the match that I think Chelsea Football Club should be covering Garnacho's wages this week because I think that is only right. But yeah, it's one of those matches where Manchester United could have won it, but it didn't pan out. So on statistics, right, obviously it looks as though Chelsea did some stuff with the statistics with the position
What?
going Chelsea's
Yeah,
going
yeah, yeah.
Chelsea's way. But
Right.
like with someone that has seen the match, obviously the bigger share of the chances and the clear cut chances rather even felt with Man U's way, and it was theirs for the taking. But I think Garnacho had other plans.
Well, I think you've made a few good points. Also, you've made a few off the ball calls. I must say. As for the match, the match was pretty much dominated by Chelsea. It wasn't a Chelsea masterclass, but it was a match which we never really felt that we didn't have control of the match. However, we were not clinical enough, and we didn't also create enough clear-cut chances, I would say. And one of the good points you highlighted the part that United created more clear-cut chances, and also if they had like clinical edge, maybe they could have this the type of game they could have probably nicked, and that would have been an unfair result. Also, but I think the goal they scored was really a gift from Sanchez because Hoyland was going nowhere with the way he miscontrolled the ball, and also they should have had a man sent off with 15 minutes on the clock. I think 13 to 15 minutes on the clock. Martinez should have been shown a red for that high boot challenge on brilliant Cole Palmer, but this is what you come to
No,
expect when you play away from home. So I would say, all in all, it's not a fair result, but taking a draw or 2 points off United, it's always good. But I was a bit disappointed with the lads. I was a bit disappointed with the creativity. It's the creativity. It's not. I can't point a finger at any one person on the team, but I can say the creativity wasn't there, and that's my take on it. Then moving
yeah,
on.
I
Oh,
think
you do
I
have
think
yeah,
I
yeah.
think yeah. I mean, I don't think we have time to say too much, but yeah, I think because this is actually a subject we can go hours on just it. But yeah, I think we move on.
Yeah. So moving on to Liverpool, Brighton. I think you guys survived the scare, but also Brighton were a bit wasteful. They were wasteful in the first half. They should have had the game buried if they had clinical players. But what did they do? They allow Liverpool to stay in the game, and Gakpo found his shooting boots. Mohamed Salah. I think even it was the fact that Brighton were pressing so hard that was actually what kind of opened up the game for Liverpool to be able to go on those quick counters. And I must say, Curtis Jones have impressed me over the matches. I hear a lot being said about Gravenberg, but in my humble opinion, or in my analytical mind, as a football pundit, not a big one, but still growing in that aspect. But I think Curtis Jones have impressed, and I think Curtis Jones has been one of the surprises of the Liverpool team. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I think of the lot of what you said. Curtis Jones being being a not much of a surprise because I think in the tail end of last season he actually did what he's doing now, and I think the world, or like in general, has not been able to catch up to him as being a Liverpool first 11 midfielder, but I know he has the ability to be that and even more for Liverpool come the years. But I think what the rave has been about Ravenberg has been about a dirty job, right? Gravenberg not being an actual four, being able to do that job seamlessly and still being able to progress the ball, being press resistant is what the rave about Gravenberg has been about. Now, looking at the match, uh, with I think Brighton missed some chances come the first half, and I think come from my prediction last week. Those were chances that were obviously that were supposed to fall on them. I think in total they had three clear-cut chances to
Yeah,
score for the in the first half. That was Kagoglu's goal, which was a very very poor showing from Van Dijk yet again. But
yeah,
I guess that's what we are getting from him these days. And then he missed another one that was put over the top from Cairo Mitoma, and he had a volley at it. Um,
yeah. Brighton were really
and
poor. It could have
yeah, and
that
then
match should have been put to bed in the first half.
no, there's no putting to bed anything in Anfield. And that's what I was excited about in that specific match, because I wanted, when we had gone behind, I was eager to see the way and the slot responded to it, and I think when the Anfield crowd came in, uh, they became the 12th men on the field, because we now started having chances like it was open day, and we could have put at least five past Brighton, clear cut chances, but I guess we had to settle with what we had. And yeah, I think it was a match we were always going to win, just as I earlier predicted. But I think Brighton gave it a good shot, and I obviously a tactical match as well. But yeah, it is what it wasn't overwhelming. I just expected it to go the way it has gone.
It's not usual to sense some amount of arrogance in some Liverpool fans, but I'll move on. Moving on to
Yeah.
your close rivals, Manchester City, who surprisingly dropped points to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Having although they had I would say, I wouldn't say a bad game, but they've not really been
Mm.
they've not really been at their best, to say the least. But they had a whole host of chances, and I would say they had opportunity to nick a draw at the end, but they played very poorly. It was a poor showing from Manchester City, and I would say Bournemouth deserved the 3 points, but it was touch and go towards the end because Foden as well as Holland, no,
Haaland.
Haaland had a whole host of chances to make something happen. What do you make of that
Hmm.
match?
I think I have very varying opinions of that. I think Bournemouth had already, they should have put the match to bed. Like, I wasn't surprised by the result. I think we didn't get to preview the match specifically last week, but I had, prior to this game week, earlier predicted that Man City would lose against Bournemouth, because from their showing with Southampton and Wolverhampton Wanderers,
Yeah,
I just knew, I just had this inkling that a team with any ounce of cohesion, right,
Yeah,
would would be able to see Man City off, in the sense of when they take their chances and they're
yeah.
able to keep it clear and close down at the back, they will be able to see off Man City, and that is exactly what had happened. I think Bournemouth should have even had like two more goals that were clear cut. That is not the ones that maybe they might have missed.
But
Maybe the
didn't
others
that
please.
come as a result of Manchester City chasing the game?
I think I think it's because okay. I feel if that was the case, because the first goal and as well as the goals they missed also came in the same vein. Like with when Man City, I think the first goal came from when Samuel, I think I think Samuel took the ball off Aki, right?
Yeah,
So the Man City was comfortable playing their natural high line, and
yeah.
Semenyo took it off of him and scored the goal. And then I think the first goal came from there. And yeah, I think a lot of
Artlist.io.
like being from Man City chasing the game, it was still them being overturned in the midfield, which was the way the goals were
Yeah,
coming when they weren't chasing the game. So I wouldn't say I see a lot of them chasing the game, causing them to have, you know, gotten those chances on them. But like I think it's just the way Man City plays. Even when Man City plays not the one man a goal behind,
yeah,
they always have their line very very high. So I think that's why I say that anything with cohesion at a
yeah,
specific point, because even the way those other teams broke them down, that is
yeah.
Wolverhampton Wanderers, the way they broke them, the way Southampton broke them down was just and like a
Broke.
piece of football. Now the way they broke Man City down when they scored
No,
their goals.
Man City, Bournemouth. I will say, I will give it to Bournemouth. They did well in the first half and most part of the early parts of the second half, but they got chances
Mm,
towards the end also, which were as a result of Man City committing a lot of players up front. But that's it is normal with Man City. I think
yeah,
they will have their rough patch. The players will start getting back, and then they and then we'll see a very
yeah, yeah.
rejuvenated Man City. So this is not to count Man City out of the title race. Moving
That's far
on
from it.
to Tottenham Hotspur, who had they had a bit of a purple patch over the weekend over Aston Villa. What did you see that coming, or was that typically out of nowhere for you? What do you think about the
Yeah,
game?
I think if they are going to have a purple patch against any team, I think it's going to be Aston Villa, because I think I had earlier predicted last week that that match will be one of the most interesting matches to watch.
Yeah,
Even given the fact that as Manchester United was playing against Chelsea,
yeah,
so even looking at the match, right? It was a match of end to end. I think for the better part of the first 30 minutes of the game, Aston Villa was bossing the whole game.
yeah,
They were getting chances, they were creating chances, they were just coming at Tottenham. So it was as predicted, an end to end game. So I just
yeah,
think what had happened was Tottenham took their chances.
yeah,
Solanke got on the board twice, that which was like kind of shocking. And
yeah,
I just think the Tottenham got there. And then something else I felt that influenced the game greatly was the fact that Rogers was taken off.
yeah. It got a
Uh,
knock, isn't it?
but no, I think he got a knock, but I think the Aston Villa medic, called it wrong, and he was taken off. Unai was advised to take him off, and when he was taken off, he was a bit frantic about it. He was a bit flared up, and he was like, "Why am I being taken off?" and stuff like that. So I think they
Was
got
it
a wrong
Rogers?
interpretation of
Rogers.
whatever. Yeah,
I thought he had a knock.
yeah, Roger.
It was a
No, no,
Son.
no, no.
Son, when they took Son off, he was also fuming after he's just created an assist for Johnson. It was a good game from
Yeah,
it was a good
yeah,
game from Tottenham Hotspur.
yeah.
Uh,
Really well.
Villa were lackluster at best, and they couldn't finish their dinner. They were not clinical enough. They didn't even create enough chances to kind of put.
No, I think that match would have swayed to anyone who had gotten like a head or a hand on on the other person. I also think this match could have easily been 4-1 to Aston Villa if they had been 2-0 up. And I think
But they
Watkins
will have
had
to
one or
create the
two chances.
chances to they
Yeah, I
were
think
they were not playing.
Watkins.
He had
Yeah,
the
Watkins had the
chances.
chance
He
to.
wasn't
Yeah, he had the
clinical.
chances to, but he
But
was just playing having one of those days.
Villa were not dominant enough. Aston,
Yeah, I thought he
they were
were.
not dominant enough. This guy Sa dominated the midfield. When even Richarlison came on and was couldn't dribble one man, couldn't dribble two men. All of a sudden, when they now got on, I think they got on Madison, and chances started going up, popping up, and then he created the chance for two of the goals. So I think he created one of the goals for
Madison scored a free
not
kick.
yeah, Madison scored the last goal, but Richarlison created one of the chances for
Solanke
Solanke, and also one of them
for
was a mistake as well. I think someone misplaced the pass in the midfield, and these
mm,
guys rushed onto it. I think what is that? Sa rushed onto it, put this guy.
yeah.
Even Solanke also had before he scored the goal. I think he had a chance as well
I,
where he missed.
I think Aston Villa. I think Aston. That's how I was saying that. I think Aston Villa could have also had this match as 4-1 on their own end because I think on the first 30 minutes of the match, Onana had a header that almost went
Oh
in,
yeah, in the first
and
half, yeah,
yeah, and then he's still in that first 30 minutes. Watkins missed a 1v1
yeah,
that he was put through on the goal. I feel if those two had gone in, or probably if one of them had gone in and they were 2-0 up
yeah.
by the first half. I don't think Tottenham is doing any miracle that is going to bring them back for to score 4 goals. I think it's just
Yeah,
going to be the momentum will be on Aston Villa side. I think I always thought it was going to be a game of momentum. Who gets the momentum and they are always going to run with it because their two defenses are proper rubbish.
that's a fair point. What do you make of Aston Villa? Not Aston Villa. Southampton, or my one of my hometowns. Southampton uh, uh, finally got a win, and where else to get it? If not against Sean Dyche's man, Everton.
Yeah.
So, what do you make of that
But
game? That was a game that just was decided by one goal.
yeah, that's one of the games that I actually slept on. I think with my predictions last week, I had uh, picked Shondaish to have seen this off easily with
Yeah,
Southampton being a team that are really a poor showing. There's been a poor
yeah,
showing this thing, but they were able to get their goal, and then they were able to sit back, and I didn't see a lot of chances being created by Everton to take the ball the lead or even get a draw back. So I think Southampton had done their due diligence. They scored their goal. They kept it compact. And the one thing with Southampton is that they know how to keep possession. If there's anything they know how to do, it's how to keep possession, and they can
yes,
while away time while doing that. So I think they were able to do that, control the game, and then see it off. And then I think that's a very good showing from them. Probably a
yeah,
beginning of a lot of good things to come, I guess.
yeah. Ipswich were also on their way to do
Um,
the same thing to as a who would they play? Who did Ipswich play? I think they were
Leicester, they
yeah,
played
Leicester,
Leicester at home.
yeah. But Ayu had other things to say
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it because he scored
Mm.
a late winner. Same thing. I was thinking these two promoted clubs were going to finally get their win on the same weekend, but Ipswich, as usual, concede a goal towards the latter ends of the game. Then finally, to one of the shacks in my eyes of the weekend, which was Nottingham Forest once again pulling up all the stops, surprising
Mm.
people, and shutting up naysayers and saying we're in the Premier League, we're here to compete with the big boys. What do you think of that performance? 3-0 to Nottingham and not
I yeah,
West Ham.
I think being on this card, we're speaking with you like long enough. I'm not the biggest fan of Lepetugi. I think he's just a a Spanish overhyped cold manager at this point. That I think he makes up for his poor tactics with shouting at the byline, and I think that's what has influenced a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that
Yeah,
he's.
you're right. West Ham have actually been very poor, and they even lost their head because didn't Kudus get a red card, and that has been extended now as well. He got a red card in the match before this one for losing his head, and then and that red card has now been upgraded even to for 3 match ban. So he's not coming back for a long week. So he probably should book his holiday and
I
start
don't
planning.
think. I think he intentionally took the. I think he intentionally took the red card, and the fact that they are giving him a 3 match ban, I think he will be elated about that. That probably, I think Lepetugi is also as poor technically as also as poor in managing his players, because it is obviously there's obviously a feud there, and I think
A
Kudus
feud.
not trying
What?
to.
How do you know
Yeah, I
that?
think I think I think I think there must be an internal affair that's going wrong, because Kudus cannot just he didn't he wasn't tackled. I think he just stood up,
Yeah,
stepped on the guy. The guy was like, okay, I won't do anything about that. He pushed someone else. The ref was okay, I
yeah,
will be benevolent. Don't do anything about it. And then he literally pushed someone against the face, like, Charlie, I
yeah.
go slap you, crowd. Like he thought they were fighting for Bantu. so so if I think it will take Kudus coming to me and telling me I did not do it intentionally, for me to believe that. For me to
Yeah,
believe that. So
yeah.
I think he just,
He was actually looking for it. You're right. He was
yeah,
looking for
he,
it.
he literally begged for it, and you guys are giving him three. I think he's going to be elated. And I
Yeah.
think for him to be doing that, and Lepetugi has not reacted in any way in the media or stuff like that, I think he had already seen it coming. So
So
yeah,
that
I
that
think.
means more minutes for Somerville. Anyway, moving on to one of my matches of the weekend, which gave me so much joy. It's one of my former hosts in Newcastle. I have a soft spot for Newcastle.
Yeah. I was elated. I was
Of
excited.
course,
I
you're
was,
related.
every word there is for happiness, right? Because number one, for the fact that I called the match before last weekend, and number two, for the fact that it's Arsenal getting a sweet, sweet, sweet defeat. So yeah, I think everything I had said about the match was like had come true. Because if there's any team that was built to like see off Arsenal, because Arsenal was playing with their set piece, we love set piece, we love set piece type stuff. And the thing with Newcastle is that Newcastle is a team that within their DNA, even with not even under Eddie Howe, like since
Yeah,
the inception of Newcastle, what is in their DNA is set pieces and how to defend it. So they always adapt to having very, very physical players. You
yeah,
rarely have them have a short maestro trying to orchestrate
yeah,
stuff for them. They always have big midfielders, big forwarders, big defenders, big people everywhere. And I think I had called the fact that Arsenal would have, rather than a coordinated match, would
yeah,
have a match that people would just be hitting themselves against each other, and then Newcastle will have a field day, because that's the game they play,
yeah. That's
and
they
and
play
and I,
physical
and
game,
that's
don't they?
yeah, that's literally what panned out. It even turned out that, because the goal that Newcastle had scored was actually a well curated goal. I think it was a
Yeah,
pump from the back, and then someone brought it down. Then Isak spread it out, and then it was. So I think Newcastle played their game, and
yeah.
Arsenal played into it basically.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. It was actually Arsenal couldn't. They created some chances, but they couldn't create enough chances to be able to dispatch or even get a draw from the game, which was expected. And that also leads me to the next agenda, which is the Champions League. And starting off with Arsenal, you know, Arsenal poor weekend showing against Newcastle, and they go to Milan and they drop another stinker. What do you make of that?
Yeah,
It wasn't a
I
stinker.
don't think I don't.
I would say I wouldn't say it's
Yeah.
necessarily a stinker, but it was. they did not create enough clear-cut chances to deserve a
Yeah.
win
Mm.
against
No,
Inter
I
Milan.
don't think. Yeah, I don't think Arsenal was ever going to win Inter Milan, right? Because like on pay-per-view though, because this is football, anything can happen. But I
Of
don't think
course.
on pay-per-view Arsenal was ever going to go to Milan and get a win. That's far-fetched. Inter Milan is actually a good team, right? And the thing with Arsenal, and the thing that Arsenal is not like Champions League inclined as well. So it was going to be like, and they are not in their best shape, and you're
Yes.
going to Milan looking for a result. I think Dumfries missed. The Inter Milan was having chances upon chances, right? So, but I guess it was never going to be. I never expected Arsenal to win. Even a draw would have been crazy for me
Yeah.
for Arsenal to have gotten. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it was a still game, but the goal that these
yeah,
guys got was also from controversial. They say it was a controversial penalty that
yeah, 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 yeah.
Chalanoglu
Obviously.
converted, and Arsenal also were making a point that they also had a penalty that was a rule supposed penalty that was not given, where the goalkeeper came clattering into I think Mikel Moreno.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, 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 yeah. But
but
funny enough, it was kind of a double whammy because Mikel Moreno was the person that handled the ball that got Inter Milan the
yeah,
penalty,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then again, Mikel Moreno was the one that was clattered into. And I had seen that given. It was given against Onana. I think Onana also got. Was it okay? Yellow card. Yeah,
No, no,
beginning of
Onana
last
didn't
season
get
or
it the
this
first
season.
time. The first episode of Onana doing that same thing, he didn't get it.
Yeah,
It was the
yeah, yeah.
second
I think it was.
episode that
Yeah,
he now got it. But I think,
yeah,
to be honest, keepers are protected. So if it's not giving, you
yeah,
should know that it's not going to be given because keepers,
yeah,
so long as he made contact with the ball, Onana actually
yeah.
in Onana's case, he didn't make contact with the ball, but this keeper actually made a
So
faint contact.
another case was crazy. Yeah.
Another case was a case of knockout punch, but but we'll talk about that some other time. Then moving on to some of the Champions League dramas, and hitting my stop at Villa. Villa went to who they go to Club Brugge. They went all the way to
Yeah.
Belgium, Club Brugge, and they dropped. I wouldn't say they dropped a sinker. They lost the match 1-0. The first match they've lost in the Champions League so far. They are no longer top of the table. And guess what? They considered a controversial goal as well.
Yeah, it's not a controversial goal. I think it was a
It's,
gift.
it's a
I
tad
think
bit.
it was a gift made from madness.
It's a controversial goal.
Funny,
Tyra means coming back to Champions League, his first Champions League
uh,
match, his debut Champions League, and also coming back after a serious injury to the starting 11. And what does he do? He wraps a Christmas present and hands it over to Club Brugge. And they thought the referee wouldn't see it. The referee was the sharpest man on the pitch. He pointed to the spot. Everybody was watching. But in their defense, Arsenal literally did the same thing
okay.
and didn't get any booking in the Champions League. I
Yeah.
think was it against PSG or something. I think someone they
Mm,
made the same thing. I
mm.
think it was Gabriel or something picked up the
Yeah,
ball.
yeah, yeah.
I was doing as if he
Mm.
doesn't know what happens.
Yeah, yeah, what happened?
Yeah, yeah. So in
Yeah,
their defense,
the thing is that obviously
there's been
referees are
precedent
trained.
set by their fellow
Mm,
mediocre team Arsenal,
mm.
but oh,
I think these players they should. I think he went on holidays and he was playing handball and he came to
mm,
he forgot that this is football. But
it,
yeah,
it got too
I think
excited.
yeah, Aston Villa is actually a crazy team in that way. That is why you can never know what to expect from Aston Villa. That's just the stuff with them. So yeah, I guess it is what it is. But they had very clear chances. I think Douglas Lewis actually put McGinn clean through one of those headers.
Magin was wasteful. He kept
Yeah,
on
no,
blasting the
no,
ball over the bar, and I was like,
I think that's the thing with my Aston Villa. You just can't say this is it. You,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can get prime Madrid today, and tomorrow you are getting a Reading United team. So yeah.
And another bad news for the English teams on the Champions League was also Man City display. It was literally a game of one person doing, because I wouldn't say Man City played bad. Man City played exceptionally good. They raised their game. They were on Sporting like a rash. Haaland was missing for fun, missing chances for fun, doing target practice without even scoring, hitting the bar, hitting the goalkeeper, and yet couldn't convert. And what happens? Gyökeres goes from one end to the other, sprinting, and scores his goal. He had one before he even scored his goal. He had one that he missed. Then scores his two penalty, composed. Haaland wasn't composed, nowhere near composed. Was far from it, far off it. Was probably thinking about holiday. I don't know, but it was such a it was as a, if I was a Man City fan, I would be so disheartened because the team gave their all, but it wasn't to be. But Sporting, it was like it was written in the stars for them, for Ruben Amorim, the new Manchester United coach, to step into Sporting, his last game, his last Champions League game, and deliver a masterclass.
Yeah, exactly what I think. I just thought about that would probably summarize the match. I think Man City being coming off the back of a defeat, where they were primed to like do a comeback with Sporting, right, as they normally do. But I
Yeah,
think they caught Sporting at a very, very, very bad time in the sense of they caught Sporting when they were saying farewell to Ruben Amorim,
yeah,
and that actually spurred on a performance from the players because
of course.
the two penalties that were given to Sporting was basically their players charging down into the 18 yard box, not even going anywhere, but just
Yeah,
running.
yeah,
They were literally just running as though their lives depended on it, and
yeah,
Man City fans could not contain that tension or that speed of the game. And I think
yeah.
the two penalties rightly given was just the match, right? The match, right, was just pure desire for Sporting's end to implement the formation
Yeah,
that
yeah.
had
I think
been.
I think if Haaland had scored half of his chances, that match would have been put to bed a long time ago. Sporting wouldn't
Yeah,
even
probably
have.
swipe out the
Yeah,
eager for the yeah
yeah.
your hunger
So
for the match.
while we're still on the
Yeah.
Champions League topic, oh yeah, you guys play Champions League, so I forgot about that. So, what would you make of your match against Bayer Leverkusen? It was like a baptism of fire for young Xavi Alonso. He got slotted in by a slot machine, and then yeah, and then your boy Victor Boniface didn't see his didn't see his time regent or whatever. He couldn't see his bearing, and it was even Florian Wirtz, who's been a wizard in the midfield, couldn't create nothing. I think the only light from the Bayern tunnel probably was what's his name, this left winger. It was the right winger.
Frimpong.
Frimpong was the only light in the tunnel. Every other person was probably in Ibiza sleeping off some of their last season's conquest.
Yeah. So yeah, about the Liverpool match, I'll first of all say I didn't see a lot of enthusiasm in your voice. Speaking about the 4-0 of
Yeah,
Liverpool
yeah.
at Anfield,
I was I was
but
I was
but
impressed by Curtis Jones. I must say, Curtis Jones keeps on impressing me.
yeah, he's a gem, and I think you're going to see more of him this season because I think he's
Yeah,
about to
yeah,
cook. But coming to the Liverpool Bayern Leverkusen match, I think the first half was even. We were having back and forth,
yeah.
and
Frimpong was cooking somebody on the left.
but yeah. I think what you
Someone got cooked.
no. The thing with as and
Uh,
the thing I think you with your analysis of the game right there and there, you had already seen everything that had happened in the match because from the inception, because they played VS at the wing, and VS that was just a decoy to bring VS back into the midfield. And every time they were trying to break out on attack, but Victor Boniface would drift out to the wing in a sense of getting the ball out wide and in space because Trent Alexander-Arnold will leave that place vacant. And you see that the thing is this: you see that Frimpong was active and Florian Wirtz played from the other wing as well, and as well as Victor Boniface were readily muted.
Yeah.
That just simply tells you the story of Liverpool's season. Like literally in the last four matches, I think every goal we've considered has been from Van Dijk's wing. Literally every chance, every goal,
So what are you trying to
every
say?
attempt on our goal has been from the Van Dijk swing. And
Are
this
you
is just to show you how poor Van Dijk has been this season.
are you
It's not
saying
really,
that contract they shouldn't offer it to him?
no, that's the thing. The thing is that the thing is that when you have a high standard for someone and he keeps messing up, that's what you get. But the thing is that you can't still find anyone as good as him out there uh,
Ah,
in right now. So we have to work with him, and
yeah,
we are excited to give him the new contract. But what I'm just basically saying is that I'm just basically saying that the fact that Victor Boniface couldn't see anything to do in that match was just down to Ibu Konate as well as uh, yeah, just simply down to Ibu Konate. And then the only chances that have been gotten by even Florian Wirtz, that was the wing he played to, and he couldn't do anything just because of Ibu Konate as well. So I
and
think that's just the story of the match.
Which usually gets a lot of hate from the Liverpool faithfuls, was right an unsung hero as well.
Yeah. The stuff is this. I think the thing with Luis Diaz is that it's going to. I don't really know, but I don't think he has this uh, aura of of being the man, right? So I think that's what has made pushed him under the radar a bit because I think even this season has been one of the most outstanding players that we've
Yeah,
had. But for some reason he doesn't even
it
have
doesn't it,
the
do-
the
it doesn't get his
yeah,
accolades.
he doesn't get his accolades. Even now we are speaking about Liverpool match. He has a hat trick, and we started with Van Dijk's failures as a Liverpool fan, just to show you that
Yeah, you guys don't give
even
him
my
his
myself, I am
flowers.
guilty. I'm
Yeah,
guilty of
you're
not
guilty
giving
of
him
not
his
giving his
flowers.
flowers. Yeah,
Yeah. So I think it's just because of his aura and the kind of person he is. But the thing is this: one thing is for certain is that Luis Diaz is actually, and I think this match has opened up another new way of Liverpool playing because I think Nunes can also sit on the bench for important matches while Luis Diaz plays from the central position because that's where he played in the match against and he was lethal and yeah he was putting away his chances with ease. It's something I can never say about Nunes. Yeah, so
yeah.
I
That's
think it's an
that.
eye opener as well. So yeah, good match, good showing. I think everyone was clamoring for this match. Liverpool were by the person, and then
Yeah,
now we've had it, and we see that we are miles apart. Just to give a schmug of pride right there.
yeah. That's fair. Just a quick summary of the outside league boys, which are the Manchester United and the Chelsea. Chelsea being being even not even off the first gear, and were able to dispatch Noah without even even breaking a sweat. Well, good game. A couple of people had braces. Felix and Nkunku. A few of the French players also got in on the act. Gay, Disasi getting a goal. Adebayo getting a goal. Mikhailo Mochis getting a worldie from the edge of the 18-yard box. And I see you making faces. You know what? I'll pass. And then next on to Manchester United. Good outing in the Europa League. Amad Diallo, I think, getting two goals and proving that he's also very important in that Manchester United team. Well, with this quick summary, I don't. I know you want to say something, but I don't know whether it's going to be right. I'll give you a minute to contribute. Contribute.
No, actually, I totally agree with you because I don't think I can speak on this topic and say something constructive. So
Yeah, yeah,
I think we should move on.
yeah. In that case, we should move on and try and preview
Yeah,
the weekend games. So we
yeah,
start
yeah.
off with. Do you want to start off with Man City? Who's Man City playing? Man City.
Okay,
Who are they
so the
playing this?
weekend game,
Yeah,
the weekend
City.
game,
Is City
we'll see
Brighton? City
City
Brighton.
play versus Brighton. I think
Yeah.
that's also going to be a very tricky match for Manchester City, but I think they will have a lot of chances. To now be done with it too. If they put it away, they're definitely not keeping a clean sheet.
I think this is a Haaland
Brighton
hat
is
trick.
yeah. This looks like something that can be a Haaland party. And I think KDB is back as well. So
Yeah,
I think a
KDB.
Haaland party is going to
Yeah, yeah.
the Haaland party is going to erupt. But I think the match of the weekend. Okay, yeah, yes. I think that's
Then, then,
basically it for that
then,
match. It's going to be a straight and close one.
then Wolverhampton seem to be finding their form. They didn't do too well. Oh yeah, we missed them actually. They didn't do too well. They did well, but result wise, they weren't. Cunha did
Yeah,
some, yeah, but Sarabia was off it last week.
I think we failed. I think we failed. I think yeah. I think our session of the game was wrong in the distance. So I think we had predicted a party on the side on the ends of, and they came in ready to like. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't think it was Fulham. I think it was another team.
is it
I can't
Wolves?
remember
Are
who
you
they
talking
played, but
about? Is it
yes,
Wolves?
Wolves. Yeah,
Yeah, Wolves were playing who they play 2-2. Is it Brentford? No, not Brentford. Yeah, Brentford also
yeah.
had a
Is
game with
it?
Fulham. Wolves played Crystal Palace, and yeah, they played Crystal Palace. Cunha had
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
field
So yes,
day. Could have had 2 or 3 assists if Sarabia had his shooting boots on, but no, he didn't. But on to this
yeah.
match, Wolves against Southampton. I think this one where Wolves win comfortably and being that they're at home.
Uh, yeah, I can't put my money on Wolves anymore after they couldn't see of Crystal Palace. I think Southampton has found some form of momentum, and with Wolves on ending need to just go to hit below the par. I think I can't call this match, but I would just say if Wolves runs away with it, they will run away with it very far. But I think if Southampton is able to control this game, although
Yeah,
that would be the hardest, this would probably might be the hardest match might have tried to control because Wolves is almost uncontrollable with the way they play. But if they're able to control it, I think they might see a draw from the
yeah.
match.
What do you make of West Ham Everton though? These are two mediocre teams at the moment. Two,
Yeah, these are two very mediocre teams, but I think Everton should see off. I
but
think
Everton
I
is
think right
away as well. Bearing in mind
yeah,
Everton is
Everton
away.
are away from home. They should be able to see off West Ham if Sean Dyche is able to get his message across to his team. Because if he's able to get his defense right, you don't need too much defending to see off West Ham's attacks. And then probably just maybe Cavaloon
Calvert
or
Lewin, like
Martinelli.
Calvert Lewin, they have been drawing blanks.
Yeah, yeah, Cavaloon might just maybe decide to receive a revelation. But
Yeah, just
I
like
think it's
Solanke.
yeah, we always know that there's a part of the season where the Corey will also have it like a 3 match run or 4 match run where he's
Yeah,
keeps scoring and keep dropping assists.
fair
So
enough.
probably it might be a one-off, but I think this looks like a from my own end. I think I will call this
Everton
a
win.
1-0. Yeah, Everton 1-0 win.
What of Brentford, Bournemouth? These are two kind of
Nah, bruh.
overperforming teams. I think Brentford has been doing
Yeah,
well. Bournemouth
yeah.
doing well as
This
well.
actually,
Semenya on
yeah,
form, Mbemo on form. So what do you think
yeah,
happens here?
yeah. I think this might be a very very cagey one, and I think it's a very very interesting match of the weekend. I think Brentford, Bournemouth. I think they go at themselves. I don't think Bournemouth is well equipped to see off Brentford. I
Right.
think, and I think Brentford being at home might just nick it for them. With the
Right.
fact that they're at home and they will be able to like have that home advantage. I think on paper view, removing every other factor in the sense of home advantage or not. I think the two
Yeah.
of them are at par with each other. So, but I think that home advantage for Brentford might just nick it for them. So I call a Brentford win or a draw.
Okay. Then with Crystal Palace, Fulham, Crystal Palace seem to have found some ounce of form. They've been winning game. They won in the Carabao Cup and they drew against Wolves. They won. I think they won. They win in the Carabao Cup. They won Aston Villa. Yeah, they won the Carabao Cup.
Mm,
They've drawn against Wolves, a very good Wolves side. And coming
yeah.
into this game, what do you see
No.
them being able to do? Crystal Palace,
Yeah,
Fulham,
Crystal
and also
Palace at home.
Fulham. Yeah, Fulham also. I think Fulham also played very well. Not really played well. Were
I think the
outsmarted
yeah
for most of the game until Harry Wilson came on and scored two late goals
yeah
on Monday Football. Yeah, yeah, they
yeah.
won
So the
Brentford.
start
Yeah.
yeah
So
yeah they won
what do you
Brentford.
think is going to happen in
They
this
won
match?
Brentford with their match against Brentford. I think we had predicted them to win Brentford, but we didn't know that they were going to struggle the way they did with it being a
Yeah,
two goal
yeah,
at the two or
yeah,
being two goals from at the end dying embers of the game.
yeah,
I think that was weird. So right now I would say I can't really say for a fact that these matches I could call them off the top of my head because I
yeah,
really can't say because I expected Fulham to do better against Brentford.
yeah,
Brentford were fresh off a midweek match that was actually a very tough one. But
yeah,
Marco Silva was not able to like do what we had expected. They still got the win as
yeah,
predicted, but
yeah.
it was a
It was a
scramble, and then
smash
I
and
think
grab, isn't it? Towards the
yeah,
end.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a scramble. So I think just to call the match for calling sake, Crystal Palace is at home. I think
Crystal Palace
I
win.
think Crystal Palace might run away with it. I think a win or a draw as well for Crystal Palace. I think that the home advantage just nicks it for them as well.
That's a fair point. Probably lean towards the same way. Then moving on to Manchester United, it seems like the Van Nistelrooy Kool-Aid is one which is quite refreshing, and the
Yeah.
players seem to be turning up and doing their
Mm,
best and trying to move the club forward. And they've had a good game, a fairly good game against Chelsea, considering where they've been. They've also had a good game in the Carabao Cup where they won, and now it's Leicester. They've also played very well today in the Europa League, and now they're facing Leicester. They're at home. Do you think this is the game where they announce the Premier League, they turn things around? What do you think?
I don't think there's any turning of anything around right now because they are having a fluke with Van Nistelrooy. They're obviously going to run riot on Leicester, but I think Ruben Amorim still coming and want. I think where Ruben Amorim might just kill this run might be if he will try to play it safe and try to just
Ruben
mitigate
Amorim, or you mean Van Nistelrooy?
Amorim. Yeah, no, I mean when Ruben Amorim comes,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the start
yeah,
of the run is not dependent on Rudy Van Nistelrooy's run. I think it's because Rudy Van Nistelrooy can be adventurous because he knows he's just he
yeah,
just has a few so adventures. He would throwing out ideas there, just
yeah.
trying to get ideas. And I think
Of
that's actually
course.
what even gave them the edge against Chelsea because he didn't have anything to lose. He was just
Yeah,
throwing out. He literally had when Chelsea was trying to press, he had Garnacho standing at the top of the pitch. Like he didn't care about a lot of stuff. So yeah, I think I think obviously come
yeah.
Leicester's match. I think Bruno Fernandes might be gunning for a hat trick or something of the sort because those are their defense. Leicester's defense is is a combination of two legendary Premier League defenders. So I think that
Yeah.
I think this is where Leicester would actually Man U probably have their best match of the season, I think. But moving forward, I think when Ruben Amorim comes in, I don't think that momentum will persist
Okay.
because it depends on how he would approach it. Because obviously the Ruud van Nistelrooy's push or yeah, basically
New
his
manager
push is
bounce or
not
something. Yeah.
might not transcend.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would say this should be a comfortable win for Manchester United, but then again, nothing is ever comfortable with this team. Moving on,
Yeah,
one of the tough matches of the game week 11 would be Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, a team in
yeah,
form
yeah.
and a team finding form, and I think this match
Mm,
is going to be totally is going to actually test the nerves, or not really the nerves, but the test the character of these two teams. It will show which team have matured enough to stake a claim and which
mm,
team is just an imposter at the moment. So
mm,
I think
mm,
with Isaac, also with all the Newcastle players coming into form, with Joe Linton seeming like he's ready up for it, and with Sandro
mm,
Tonali being compact. So, and also new for Tottenham, not for Tottenham, for Newcastle, Nottingham Forest. Sorry, not Tottenham. You got Chris Wood scoring seemingly unstoppable and is scoring back to
mm,
back, and you've got
mm,
Callum Hudson-Odoi, you've got Elanga, you've got this electric forward. So it's going to be
mm.
really an exciting match, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. I think it will be an exciting match, but I think Newcastle runs away with this one
All
because
right,
I think when
even away
Newcastle, I
from
think
home.
yeah, yeah, even away from home. I think when Newcastle is able to like get off the run they have, I think momentum is no longer their problem. And then now they also have their players back. I think this is the best of Newcastle right now, and I
All
think you
right.
should be able to see Nottingham Forest off because Nottingham Forest is a good team, but I think they're a good team because of the run of fixtures they have, number one, as well as the kind of striker they have. And I think Newcastle also in their sense of physicality also negates what uh, would probably be more ready rather for Chris Wood as he's not as maybe a very very elusive striker, but one that if you probably you know what he will do, but you just won't be able to defend him because you don't have the physical capability to do that. So I think Nottingham Forest. I think Newcastle probably might even take the match to Nottingham Forest come that day. And if that's the case, I think it's going to be just they are
Well,
going to eventually get to win it.
that's a fair point, but I would say Nottingham Forest win this match comfortably, and I'll put it down to there's going to be fatigue on, well, not really fatigue, but a few knocks here and there, given that Newcastle have fielded their full strength squad, but so have Nottingham. So, and also Nottingham has at home. So I think this ends 2-1 or 3-1 in favor of Nottingham Forest. Then moving on, the next match would be your Tottenham and Ipswich. This should be a free hit
That's
for
true.
Tottenham Hotspur, but given that these guys are Spursy, do you think there will be an upset?
Yeah, I think the thing with Tottenham is that even if they are playing against Enyimba, they can be an upset because of how they play their
Yeah,
football. But the thing is this, Son Heung-min back, Solanke on fire, Brandon Johnson never leaving form. Madison also available. I don't think if there's any world where if switch
wins comes out with a
gets
win.
to comes out of this one thing.
Fair enough. I think it should be a comfortable win uh, for Tottenham. But if there's one match I will bet this weekend that will not go as planned, it should be this match. Then finally
Yeah.
to the Super Sunday match, the match that the big guns are get involved in, the match that the big guys, the kings of London, the Blues. Are you stuck? get involved in is what's going on? So it's Chelsea
Kings
match.
of London.
Yeah, the Kings of London. Did you not
What
get
happened
that?
to me?
What happened to you? Ah, oh my lord. Have something gone on? Whoa.
Okay.
What?
My bad.
What happened?
Yeah, I think it's a technical error.
Technical. All right. Yeah, welcome back. Yeah. Moving on. So moving on to the Super Sunday match,
Ah,
the big match of the weekend, the match where you see the big guns, where you see the Kings of London turn out, where you see the Blue Army turn up, the unchangeable boys coming, the cold boys trying to chill out the whole place of West London and Stamford Bridge, coming and hosting the Emirates boys, the Gunners. And I think this match is a statement match for Chelsea. I think this match ends with 3-1 in Chelsea's favor. Or else, unless Cole Palmer, which rumor has it that Cole Palmer might not be fit for this match. But in the absence of that, if Cole Palmer is fit, this match is 3-1 Chelsea. What do you think? And bear in mind,
first off,
Might be back.
no, it's not Might. He's back. He played during the midweek.
Who cares? He played he played and lost during the midweek. So what?
Yeah. He played
And
and
I
lost
just
during the
played
midweek.
and won 8-0 in the midweek.
Yes, against the medieval boys.
But your analysis on the match
No.
before you deviate, because I'm sure you can't wait
Yeah.
to deviate.
Yeah. So Chelsea, Arsenal. First off, I couldn't care less what you guys do.
I know you can't help
So,
yourself.
but
Uh,
I couldn't care less what you guys. I think this will be the one of the most interesting weekends where I watch the football match with no care in the world what happens on the match. But
you mean
I
after
think
you lose against Villa, you watch with no care in the
yeah.
world?
Don't worry, we'll get to analyze the match. You can wait for an analysis before that. So I think Arsenal gets to prep Chelsea, sizzle them up and toss them out.
So what do
It
you
is
think
that
is gonna
Arsenal is
happen to the match?
I think Arsenal is a class above Chelsea right now. But the thing with derbies is that it's not really about class or who's in form or who has a better player and who has whatnot. I think the thing with derbies is about the temperature and the intensity of the stadium and all that good stuff. Those play greater roles than this. And if there's anything the Premier League is good at with all these very tough matches,
Yeah.
additional draws. So I think it's just going to be a straight up plain draw. Oh, but if it's not a draw, I don't think there's any world where Chelsea comes out winning it.
So you think it's going to be a draw? Is there a nil-nil draw or?
No, they'll definitely be goals. Obviously, I think a 1-1 or 2-2 draw.
All right, all right, all right. That's fair then. Yeah,
Mm.
I'll say. Well, I wouldn't be too upset by a draw, but that match is a 3-1.
Yeah, that's because you're about to go and lose.
Uh,
But yeah,
then
one maybe.
finally on Liverpool Aston Villa, what do you think is going to happen in that game?
Yeah,
If you can be
I
objective,
think,
if you can be
I think
objective,
we're.
and say how Una
Hey,
Emery is going to
Chale,
season
you know
you.
the objective when I talk about Chelsea. No, but yeah, objectivity is what they know me for. So I'm going to stick to my emo.
Who knows you for objectivity?
Yeah, so Unai Emery has been a sorry showing for the recent in the recent weeks, and looking at where Liverpool has their issues from the
Yeah,
left wing, I think yeah they have someone who's is a sharp edged knife in on that end in the person of Leon Bailey.
yeah,
I think that might help. But I think Aston Villa, what's actually happening to them as I look at them more and more is that they're already getting fatigued. Obviously, I was expecting that in January, but not now. I think the
yeah.
weight of the Champions League on their shoulder is already, creeping in on them. And I think they're not a team that can afford to, field different players. I think fielding McGinn just had them do a
But
giveaway. And I think
McGinn is a mainstay in their first 11, isn't
yes, a mainstay, but he was brought into the. I think he was brought into the match too quickly. But no, but there's no like there's no house. It's not that sudden. There's no suddenness of any stuff that will make you do a giveaway that is that crazy. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah, I get his head or not in the game. But I think Aston Villa at Anfield is what I've seen from Liverpool, being able to come back from a match down, being able to control the game the way they have done. I think that will be a Gravenberg party. He will be able to
All
like
right.
break down that midfield seamlessly.
Gravenberg
I think he
party.
will own it.
All
I
right.
think he will own it. And
Uh,
then obviously,
have
I
you
wouldn't
have you
even
have you
want
heard
us
of
to think.
Amadou Onana? Amadou Onana. All right.
Yeah, he's a good player, but
All right.
that
Have
is
you heard
that
of
is tough.
Yeri Tilemans? Yeri Tilemans. All right. All right.
Yeah, I've heard of all
All
this.
right.
I've heard of a lot of them,
Have you heard of
but
Rogers? Have you heard of Rogers? All right. All right.
yeah, I think
All
that's even what I wanted to say. I think Rogers right there is like the only threat that I
right.
see right
All
now
right.
that can
Gravenberg.
actually affect the
Gravenberg
game.
party. more like
Yeah, but it's going to be
more like green
it's,
tea party.
it's more like what?
Green tea party.
I don't understand. I don't understand where all these infiltrations into my analysis is coming from, but I guess I guess I guess the Noah Ark boys are coming out with a lot of
When last did you play someone 8-0?
okay.
Mm.
Yeah. I guess I have no. Yeah, it has been a long time since I played someone from the ends.
Mm.
It's been a long time I played someone that had a name not from this century.
All
But
right.
yeah, I think I've never had that under my belt. But yeah, it might be. I might just be envious of you, the fact that you are playing people that we never knew existed right up till now.
Well,
But yeah, you are bringing
you're
them
you're
out
in the
into the world.
Champions League.
So
Can you guarantee you're gonna win it? No. The answer is no.
I think we are
Moving
swaying,
on.
but
Moving on. Moving on. Moving on.
yeah,
Yeah.
moving on.
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
I think I,
Yeah.
I think that's my analysis of Aston Villa's
Yeah.
match. I
That's
think
fair. That's fair. I think it might be a
mm,
comfortable win for Liverpool. To be
yeah,
honest. No objections or interjections there. Right. This brings us to the end of the show.
yeah,
And final words. Do you have any final words to, if you have any,
yeah.
fire?
Final words would be want to say that Arne Slot has been a breath of fresh air, topping the Champions League table,
do you know my
topping
honest
oh
do you know
my
my
gosh!
honest
Final
opinion?
words from me.
All right. All right.
Yeah, I would like to hear your honest opinion on the matter
I
before I
think
give my final
I
word.
think
Mhm.
I think this team is still getting results with hangover of club's tactics and way of play. I think when we start seeing the Arne Slot way of play, not only will this team get blunt, not sharp, and stop living off moments, because they are actually living off moments, individual brilliance here and there. A touch of Mo Salah, a touch of Ruben Diaz,
Luis, yes.
Luis Diaz, a touch, and solidity, unprecedented solidity of Gravenberg. And then the sporadicness of Curtis Jones, and then still evergreen qualities of Alexander Trent Arnold. A few old legs. Kunate also has been solid. I will give him his flowers. So these things, I think these are all things that have been invited by Jurgen Klopp. And
I think,
Slop
yeah.
is ripping off it. Yeah, nice. But this is not sustainable. And I keep on saying it. This is not
No.
sustainable. This is not
So
sustainable.
funny enough, funny enough, that's why I tell you more and more that this is actually the slot's way of playing football. Because if this wasn't a slot's way of playing football and we were playing off Klopp's way, I I think both Arsenal and Chelsea will be laid to bed way too easily. But the stuff is that I think the way you no, obviously I that one I don't have
How many times
a
did you
shadow
lay
of
me to
doubt in
bed?
my head.
How many times did you lay me to
No,
bed?
you
I
are
went to I went to two
you were
finals,
pathetic showing right now. That's what I'm trying to say.
finals with you,
And I warn
and
you
in
now.
two of them you couldn't lay me to bed until penalties.
I warn you.
So
No, that's what that's what I'm trying to say. Like you were sorry you are not a team that has backbone right now. When
all
I
right.
met you in those other times, you were trying to achieve, you were trying to do something, right? And then even when I met you, said I wasn't even in the right place, in a good place. This and Slot had literally all my players' feet, and he couldn't lay Chelsea of Romelu Lavia and Caicedo in the midfield to
No,
bed.
no. Please, please
He
put
didn't even
respect,
create enough.
on Daniel. Wait, I thought we were ending the show. You know what? Put respect on Daniel.
Yeah, yeah.
Press resistant Romeo Lavia.
No, I'm just trying to tell you I'm just trying to tell you my honest opinion. I know
You know
you
what?
have a lot of
That's fine.
nuances that you want to use to categorize this stuff. So that's what I'm just trying to tell you that what I'm trying to say basically is just that this is actually the slowest way of playing football, and that's the reason why Liverpool brought him in, because it's not so different from Jurgen Klopp. But I think he's very tentative in the big matches, because if you actually see our matches, if you saw the match against Brighton, for instance, we didn't leave any moments. It wasn't about anybody's brilliance. It wasn't about anybody's creativity or stuff like that. Curtis Jones, I think Curtis Jones will be one of the stuff that will shock a lot of people throughout this season, because Curtis Jones has actually been a very good player. But you have to be someone that consistently watches Liverpool for you to be able to see that. That's number one. Gravenberch was a revelation this season, and that is something that you can say might not be um, sustainable, because you haven't seen him for way too long. And then I think every other stuff that you say, those are things that never gone down.
you
Even
know,
Klopp has
you know the
always used
beauty,
some Salah moments.
you know the beauty of podcast.
Yeah.
There's always receipts.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I'm not even because if I
Well,
want to even start talking about things
on
that
on
probably
that
I see or things I think will happen,
on
that's what but
that
this is
note,
what I'm telling you, I'm sure about.
we'll end this podcast. Yeah, once again
Yeah.
from the football takes. Thank you very much, and that's it.